Welcome, beautiful creatures. This is Witch Belle, and today we shall be playing Witches Warlocks. It is a free game on Steam. It has 6 different endings. If you buy the DLC, you get one more love interest than the 3 that it already comes in the game, plus more illustrations. And you can choose your pronouns in this game. So let's dive in. Okay, create your witch. Well, let's see. There's so many different puns I could use for this. Since most of my outfit is purple, I am going to put my name as Purple. Just because I can. Yep, female. Voice.
Let me try.
Let me try.
Let me try. Let me try.
And white skin. Some red hair. And let's begin.
It's love, love, love.
That makes the world go round, round, round. Already like my character, she's already singing. Another flawless night. Once again, love is triumphant. All thanks to the weeks of dedicated, hard work of yours truly. The incomparable, the one and only Purple Nightshade.
Dun, dee, dun.
It's love, 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 da dee da 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 da. Tonight, 2 souls who had been searching their entire afterlives for each other have found one another at last. Tonight, 2 hearts that used to be lonely are beating as one. All thanks to me!
The best matchmaker in Dwimmermere High.
Couldn't have said that any better.
The only one.
The only matchmaker in Dwimmermere High. A blue-skinned apparition steps out of the wall right in front of me. I jump back, lose my balance, and nearly fall over.
What's the matter?
You look like you've seen a ghost.
I have.
You are a ghost, Zero.
Oh, yeah.
I would have never guessed. The apparition hovering a few inches above the pavement is Zero, my poltergeist classmate and childhood friend. Oh, so he's not just a ghost, he's a poltergeist. He's the one that gets to throw things around. I snicker at his obvious jab. He has quite the natural-born talent for it. You're looking as strict and frowny and scary as ever, Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Where have you been? I was waiting all night.
Smile for me.
Why don't you smile more often? You look sweeter than candy corn when you smile. No, he's not having any of it. Looks like Zero won't be showing me that sweet smile of his tonight.
Anyway,
I have actually been busy on a very important errand.
Yeah, right.
You were just out matchmaking again.
of course.
Of course, I was out matchmaking.
Don't you know?
When evil comes knocking, whether due to external forces or a certain summoning incident in lab that we are not going to bring up for yet the 100th time, Zero,
I must do it.
I must quell the beast by finding its one true love. After all, I am the one and only Purple Nightshade. Da-da-da! Best matchmaker in Dwimmermere High.
Again.
Da-da-dum-bee. Dummy. You're the only matchmaker in Dwimmermere High.
Naturally.
I'm so superb at matchmaking, no one dares to compete against wonderful me. He still is not having any of it. Zero brings his hands together slowly and horribly in 1, 2, 3 sarcastic claps.
So,
May one inquire if the one and only Purple Nightshade found any time between helping the undead find love and romancing evil spirits to study for her exams?
Exams?
yes.
Exams.
Of course.
Of course I have, silly.
Yes.
They are promptly bookmarked in my calendar.
Well,
I just haven't had the time to really buckle down with a good witch's brew and spellbook.
I will.
But I will.
Ha ha ha.
Folding his arms, Zero smirks at me with a rather sardonic glint in his ruby eyes.
Pray, tell me.
Does the incomparable Purple Nightshade think her... When, pray, does the incomparable Purple Nightshade think her exams are?
Huh?
Isn't it Halloween? I'm sure I have much more time than you
Wait.
Purple. When do you think is Halloween?
Well,
Halloween is the most important day in a witch's calendar. However, these days I've been so busy with matchmaking a certain evil spirit, every day seemed just like any other. I cannot say for certain the last time I looked at my day planner, but it couldn't have been that long ago.
maybe.
Halloween is in, 2 months? Maybe 3? Or maybe 4?
Halloween is next week.
What?
Oh god. I don't know which is more terrifying, the way Zero is glowering or what he just shouted.
No way.
Next week?
Yes.
Next week.
Really?
Halloween?
I cannot believe.
Yes, Purple. I cannot believe you forgot about your exams. Much less Halloween.
But
Zero, a lot has happened since the start of the semester. And you know my memory has a tendency to be fickle.
don't you know?
On the first week, I almost got tangled up in a mistaken identity crisis with the corpse's bride.
Thankfully.
He was understanding once I matched him up with the undead body of his dreams.
And then,
Not long after, an evil spirit teen tried to banish me for getting his mom a hot date.
and then,
Must I mention a certain summoning incident in lab that is still not up for discussion? Zero sighs with an exaggerated shake of his head.
It isn't.
Your memory isn't bad. It's selective. I throw up my hands in surrender at his comments. Nothing I said was going to break down his wall when he gets like this.
I don't know.
I don't even know what the exams are about.
So,
Exams will be a series of magical obstacle courses. You need to use the magic spells you were supposed to have learned this year to...
Oh, you mean...
Like the glow spell?
yes.
Yes.
I remember.
Miss Madgewitch cast glow in her first class. The demonstration was absolutely dazzling.
Yes.
About the exams.
Yeah.
Maybe I can cast it too, and dazzle the examiners into passing me, the wonderful matchmaker of Dwimmermere High. Yeah!
Let me try.
How did she do it? Let me try. Glow. I wave my hands gradually, the way I remember Miss Magic's doing.
Glow!
Light. Come on. Glow. Not a glimmer.
Why?
Zero. Care to give me a hint as to why I can't cast glow?
Because
You're a witch. Only true sorcerers can cast spells purely by magic. Witches like yourself must use potions to cast spells.
Oh!
Oh, yeah, right.
I cannot believe.
This is basic knowledge. Have you slept through classes the whole semester? The sheepish grin spreads across my face before I can stop it. Maybe? I've been staying up pretty late.
May I remind you?
Unless you study properly from now on, you're going to fail your exams and be expelled for being a witch who can't cast one single spell.
Really?
Will they really expel me? Just because I can't cast a single spell? Well, you are in school to learn that. Possibly. Zero's looking at me in that horrible way of his again.
Think about it.
You'd be the one and only witch in the entire history of Dwimmermere High to be unable to cast even a single spell. Being expelled is far from far-fetched. Think about that for a moment.
Help me.
Teach me to be a spell-casting witch.
Let me think.
Nope.
May I remind you?
Every night for the last 3 months, between all the ghouling around and excessive matchmaking, I kept warning you to prepare for exams. But did you ever listen? Zero. You try to listen to anything while being excessively haunted by an evil spirit. Oh, I said that wrong. You try to listen to anything while being excessively haunted by an evil spirit. That sounds better.
You said so.
You said the spirit summoning instant was not up for discussion. Gulp.
Did you?
So, did you ever listen to me? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that was so cute.
Don't.
Don't use those puppy dog eyes on me, Purple. They won't work this time. You're the only one in the world who can save me, Zero. You're so cool and knowledgeable and I know you're always looking out for me.
Save your flattery.
His reaction. I let my shoulders droop.
I understand.
After all, you've done so much already.
I'll work hard.
I'm going to study really hard, harder than ever before. These next 7 days. Should be any kind of studying, apparently.
And then...
If it still isn't enough, and we never see each other again after I'm expelled next week, then I'll miss you, Zero, my dearest friend. I give Zero a sad little smile, then turn to limp tragically away. 3, 2, 1.
Wait.
She knew it.
I guess.
I have no choice but to help you once more. But don't count on it happening again.
Thank you.
Really? You will? Thanks, Zero! I spin exuberantly, celebrating my little victory, and throw my arms around him. They slip through him as usual. I was gonna say, how is that gonna work? He's a poltergeist.
Hey!
quit it. It'll take me ages to reform myself if I get disintegrated so close to dawn. Sorry. I'm so happy I can't help it. You're the best, Zero.
Stop.
There isn't much time left before daybreak, and you need all the help you can get.
Pay attention.
I'm only going to explain spellcasting and potions for witches just this once. Okay, your day is divided into 3 segments: early dawn, crimson dusk, and witching hour. You can pick an activity to spend your time with during each time segment in the activity menu. Make potions, learn spells, and part-time job will advance your time into the next segment.
Ah.
Dawn is coming. Ooh, I like the music change.
What's the matter?
You look so ephemeral and fragile now, as if the slightest wind could whisk you away.
Because
That's because the sun is nearly up.
that's how it is.
For poltergeists like me, doomed for life to only walk the night.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping me tonight, and well, for everything.
Work hard and do your best.
I, for one, would prefer it if you didn't get yourself expelled, if that makes a difference. If it isn't for how transparent he has become, I could almost swear his cheeks are a tinge brighter than before. Silently, smiling his elusive, sweet smile, Zero fades away with the onset of day.
I will.
Zero, I promise, I'll work hard, pass the Halloween exam, and make you proud of me. I will. I swear it. The windows of my house are brightly lit, and when I try the door, it swings inward with ease. Which means
Damien!
I'm home.
Welcome home.
That's interesting. His fingers are pink on one side or no, that's every other finger. Pink and purple. Pink and blue. Oh. He's like a skeleton and a Frankenstein mixed into one. I hear my housemate Damien shuffling down the staircase, welcoming me with their shy smile. Oh, there. So, I'm a she. Zero is he. Damien is they.
Help me.
Damien, help me!
Huh?
Tonight didn't go well? The worst! Tonight was just dreadful. I can try, but I don't know if I...
You see,
Matchmaking isn't my forte, and you never needed any help before, so... Not matchmaking. Of course I don't need any help with matchmaking.
The best matchmaker in Dwimmermere High.
And I intend to keep it that way.
Well...
Studying! Studying! I give myself a fright, thinking about the possibility that I might be expelled from school.
Don't you know?
That exams are on Halloween, which happens to be next week.
of course.
I do. Everyone does. Hang on.
Wait.
Purple, don't tell me you just found out. I look at them teary-eyed.
Phew.
Oh dear. So this isn't the most opportune moment to ask, as Damien must be busy with their own studies too. But I gave Zero a promise, and I intend to do everything I can to keep it. And studying together is more fun anyway.
Damien!
The most dependable and studious friend I have. You're my only hope. My housemate looks both embarrassed yet happy at the same time. And that's how I knew I had them exactly where I wanted them.
Really?
I am?
See?
If I cram these books all by myself, I'd probably end up setting them on fire, then catch fire myself, then die miserably.
Please?
You've got to help save me from my ultimate demise. Please? Damien hesitates, but only for a second, before nodding, just as I knew they would.
I'll try.
Do what I can to help you, Purple.
Thank you!
Thank you so much! Without a moment's notice, I fling my arms around them in a big, cheerful hug.
Be careful.
I'm still not finished assembling the parts. I jump away at once, careful not to bump off a limb or two.
Alright!
You're already doing maintenance again?
Yes.
My previous arms were falling off, and one of the knees started creaking, so I had to buy new parts from the human shop. Oh, he is like a Frankenstein. Poor thing. Did you get a good price? Are there any good bargains lately? You can't let Mr. West rip you off. You're his #1 customer after all. They give me a small, human smile.
Yes.
The human shop has an influx of parts that they're selling for cheap because, well, a big pile of human corpses was recently uncovered. Or so Mr. West says. That Mr. West sure is a bit shady, isn't he?
Maybe.
But the human parts he sells are fresh and cheap, just like his potions.
Right.
Potions! I snap my fingers with both hands as the next step in my master plan for passing my exam falls into place in my head. Oh no, she's gonna buy the potions and just learn the incantations and do it that way to get through her exam. Okay. Poor Purple.
I remember.
That reminds me, I should go to the human shop to buy potions. I'm all out, and I can't cast any spells without them.
All right.
That's a good idea, Purple, but are you sure you can afford to?
Why?
Whatever do you mean? Aren't you kinda, broke?
Oh!
Well,
You're right.
you've already spent all your allowance on hosting matchmaking parties, right?
Yes!
Yep, that evil spirit only wanted the most fancy stuffs and wouldn't give me a rest unless I complied.
How?
Wait, how do you know that?
Well,
Because yesterday you had to borrow money from me for lunch and a little extra for a light snack.
I forgot.
Oops. Oh, this is bad. Really bad. Even if I do learn enough spells to pass the Halloween exams, it won't do me a lick of good if I don't have the potions I need to cast them. There's no way I have enough time to concoct all the potions I will need while cramming spells simultaneously. There has to be another. Purple, listen, I have an idea.
Yeah!
Tell me!
maybe.
If you need to earn money to buy potions, maybe you can, try asking Mr. West at the human shop for a part-time job?
How?
Are they hiring?
Exactly.
I heard Mr. West needs more hands that are attached to living bodies, to help out because of that big consignment of corpses the shop received. And with everyone busy studying, I think that you'll have a good shot at getting a job there. If you want to, that is.
Perfect!
I'll head there at once.
Wait.
after you wake up tomorrow. Their sudden shift in tone took me by surprise, to say the least, and I put on a good pouty face. But...
No.
Go to bed, Purple. You look exhausted, and you need to rest. But...
No.
I'm serious.
You see,
If you won't go to bed now, I'm not going to help you. Aw, do I see a little blush?
Wow!
Such a surprisingly assertive threat coming from you. I do what I need to.
All right!
All right. I know you mean the best for me.
Yes!
Heading to bed now, my liege. I take an extravagated bow, and Damien laughs softly, but doesn't leave their spot until I have gone all the way up the stairs, and into my bedroom. Wah. Maybe Damien is right. I'm way too sleepy now to be applying for part-time jobs. If I actually want to end up getting hired. And my bed looks so soft and warm and inviting. And my eyelids suddenly feel like a ton of bricks. Tomorrow, I'll work really, really hard. Tomorrow. Darkness takes me gently into its sweet embrace. 8 hours of uninterrupted beauty sleep is the most magical spell in the world. I went to bed last night feeling like a lobotomized zombie with a head stuffed full of decomposing brain matter. This morning, I stretch out my arms, fully resurrected as a lively and youthful matchmaking genius.
The incomparable, the one and only.
Purple Nightshade. I sing haughtily as I bounce down the stairs. Good morning, Purple. You're looking energetic.
Yeah.
I am energetic. That's why. I feel like I can take on anyone and anything.
excellent.
Even Mr. West in the human shop? Aren't you applying for a job at the human shop today?
Well,
Since you're broke and need money to buy potions, which you need to cast spells, which you need to pass the exams on Halloween.
Oh,
No wonder I'm in a good mood.
I forgot.
Forgot all about exams, and potions, and casting spells, and being broke. Now I remember. I count each little terrible to-do list item on my fingers, and my cheery good mood evaporates like a fine mist in the morning sun.
See you later.
I'm late. I have to hurry. See you later, Damien.
yes.
Good luck, Purple. Aw, he moved a little closer. That's cute. I hear Damien call softly behind me as I dash out of the house.
All right.
Good luck. Yep, I'm going to need it. Ding, ding, ding. The cracked antique bell chimes eerily as I push open the creaky old door of the human shop. No returns. The shop is as empty and silent as an open grave, which means it isn't open yet, probably. Looks like I made it just in time.
Hello? Oh my.
My, what do we have here? A cutie has happened into my parlor. Behind the shop counter stands a little girl, her chin on the edge of her palm. She is eyeing me up as a spider would to a particularly delectable fly. Love her outfit. It's so stinking adorable.
Herbie!
Today's produce just arrived, and it's still fresh, being alive and all. Her voice echoed slightly through the shop, and from somewhere upstairs, an unseen voice hollered back. I'm busy, Carmilla. Butcher it yourself. Butcher?
No way.
Wait, I'm not produce.
Mm-hmm.
Really? She tilts her head pointedly to the side with obviously dubious regard.
But
Are you quite certain? You look a lot like produce to me. You a vampire? Yeah, you're a vampire.
no.
I am no mere human.
The incomparable, the one and only.
You behold in your company the incomparable, the one and only purple nightshade.
Nightshade, huh? So you're a witch? Yeah.
You know it.
Mm,
Then why haven't I seen you in school before? Ooh, maybe I haven't been going to classes at all? Ooh, that's not good. Which one should I do? You go to school too? You go to Dwimmermere High too?
huh?
If you really are a student there, you would know that much without asking. Well, yeah. Strange. I thought I had invited everyone to my matchmaking parties at least once.
Oh,
Matchmaking? Oh, you're that nightshade. The charming girl straightens up and dazzles me with her professional, sunny smile.
welcome.
Hello there. My name is Carmilla. How may I assist you today?
Let's see.
I'm looking for a job.
Huh?
Now? If you're a witch, you should know you have exams in 1 week's time.
For the last time.
I am a witch,
Well.
and I know I have exams in a week, but I kinda really broke. Those gaudy matchmaking soirees must cost a pretty penny.
Yes.
Yes, which means I can't afford to buy potions. Which means you can't cast spells.
Well.
Which means I won't be able to pass exams even if I know how to cast spells.
Huh?
Even if.
Uh.
Even though.
Oh.
Which means I watch her swiftly calculate my unfortunate circumstances.
And so.
You'll be the first witch ever to be expelled from Dwimmermere High for not being able to cast a single spell.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, exactly what I don't want to be.
Now.
Whilst I understand your trials and tribulations, I can't help you.
Why? You know?
Mr. West, the proprietor of the human shop, already has someone to run the store for him, and you are looking right at her.
But.
But I need the money.
Yes?
Who doesn't? At this point, I am a tad desperate and blurt out the first item that comes to mind.
Maybe?
Can I maybe work for you?
Mm-hmm.
For me? Both of her eyebrows raise in interest.
Yes.
Yes, someone as talented and clever as you shouldn't be working for others. You should have others working for you instead.
Wait.
You mean as a manager?
Let's see.
Not simply a manager. Think bigger. Supervisor, director, visionary leader.
You're right.
True, I do belong to an ancient and distinguished noble family.
Yes.
The common people should serve me, not the other way around.
Yeah.
And I can't believe the proprietor is making a girl as beautiful as you stand behind a counter all the time.
Right.
I'm wasting away behind this silly table, aren't I?
Naturally.
Definitely.
You see.
With your brains and your looks, if the proprietor has you out and about charming the customers, I bet the turnover of the human shop will increase tenfold.
Huh?
Only tenfold?
Of course.
100-fold.
I like it.
You make many excellent points. I like the way you think.
Yeah.
See? I would be quite useful to have working for you.
Please.
Put in a good word for me to the proprietor. I'll try. No guarantees. She winks.
Herbie!
Today's produce wants to work for me and I like her. Can she? What? Work for you? Please? Gosh. Her voice is suddenly so sugary sweet that I feel like a diabetic. I feel like a diabetic going into cardiac arrest just listening to it. Oh, alright.
And so,
That means you have to pay her a salary and all. Oh, alright. And that means you also have to give me a raise. Excuse me?
yes.
Because I'm her supervisor now, aren't I? You can't pay me the same as her. What? Oh, alright. Carmilla turns back to me, her hair bouncing lightly against her shoulders. She clasps her hands together dramatically.
Congratulations!
On your new job!
Amazing!
Was it magic?
Of course.
It is vampiric magic, to put it simply. My very own brand. A devious little notion strikes me.
How?
How did you become so impossibly good at it?
Practice.
Practice, practice. Practice makes perfect, you know.
I'm sure.
You're being way too modest, I'm sure. She purses her lips against the back of her index finger.
Maybe.
Maybe I am. There's a lot of talent involved, too. Naturally.
Can you teach me?
Can you even teach it to a witch like me?
Of course.
Of course I can. If I want to. Why do you want to learn it anyway?
Well,
I was thinking it might be useful for asking the proprietor for a raise.
yes.
I mean, just for the sake of my Halloween exams.
Carmilla,
I'd be ever so grateful.
please.
After all, you're the only vampire in this world who is intelligent enough to teach me magic in just a week. She considers me thoughtfully, tapping the tip of her chin before pausing to give me her final verdict.
Oh, all right.
It could be you may have some talent for it too. We shall see. Once every day, your character will work part-time and earn money. Nothing special happened, and I earned a good amount of pocket money. While working part-time, some events may occur that can be solved by using the right magic spell. Solving these events will earn you an extra amount of money. Using night creatures, I was able to locate a fitting one in a flash, rewarding me with one of Damien's rare smiles and a pat on the back from Mr. West. By choosing part-time job from the activity menu, you can work an extra shift. Ooh, okay, so that's extra. Little witch purple, da-dee-da, the one and only, la-la-la. Today I found out that the proprietor of the human shop is incredibly shady, And his storekeeper is a sweet talking vampire.
Yeah.
I also got a job so I can buy potions. And a new friend to teach me riveting vampiric magic. Yeah! I pump my fists into the air, cheering at the sign of my imminent victory. Imminent victory. The Halloween exams are going to be a piece of pumpkin pie. Suspicious noises are coming from the dingy back alley behind the human shop. What's going on? Cautiously, I peek into the decrepit alley. A mountain of reanimated corpses in body bags crawling its way to the human shop. From the upper floor of the shop comes the sound of metal and glass crashing onto the floor. What did you say? Not again!
Don't you worry.
It's only the delivery for today's produce. She giggles while giving me a twinkling glance. Then Carmilla turns her attention to the hideous monstrosity that just made its way to the door.
Now,
Leave it out on the doorstep, as per usual, Lawrence.
All right.
The mountain of body bags halts and plonks onto the ground. The person who was hauling them straightens up and dusts off his hands. It's a cat boy. Purple, I don't think that is the appropriate way to say that. A what? He's growling. Nope, that wasn't appropriate.
wow.
How cute! A real-life cat boy. I've never seen one up close before, despite being a witch. I'm getting really theatrical with my hands, and I keep hitting my mic piece.
All right.
So many cats, but no cat boys. Plus, you must be a really strong cat boy to carry so many body bags all the way to the shop.
Stop.
First of all, I am not a cat boy. I am not a cat. And second of all, I have a name. Hold out your paws and say, "Nya, cat boy." I wave my loosely held fists in the air at him, and he puts both hands on his hips and droops his head before letting out a long sigh. Evidently, my frightening appearance has unhinged your wits with stark terror.
No way.
You don't look frightful at all. Can I give your fluffy ears a pat? Before or after I bite your hand off?
Wow.
Such a feisty cat boy. Again,
I'm a werewolf.
not a cat boy. Werewolf? Where?
Of course.
Right here. He places the tip of his index finger against his chest. You?
Yeah.
A werewolf, a lichen, a loup-garou, me. But werewolves are all scary and stuff. Precisely. At last, you can see the point.
But
You're not scary at all. You're adorable. I don't think he's enjoying this at all.
wow.
You're growling again, and look, like you want to bite someone's hand off.
Because
I do. If you are done infuriating me, I will take my leave. With unutterable dignity, the werewolf, strides past me, chin high and ears bristling. How strange. Oh no! Give your muscles a chance to relax. No, I'm busy. How strange. I begin to inquisitively stroke my chin. What? He stops mid-stride. He doesn't like being called that. You don't like it when someone calls you cute or adorable, do you? The werewolf begins to rub the sides of his head in a circular fashion. So kind of you to finally put the pieces together. No, in fact, it makes my temples throb with a vicious fury. Sorry, I'll remember not to in the future. Probably.
Good. Hold it.
In the future?
Yes.
For sure.
Why?
You expect, for reasons apparent only to yourself, we shall have cause for further association.
Yeah.
Yep, I want us to become friends. It's not every day I get to meet a werewolf as cute and as scary and intimidating as you. Alright, I'll give you the benefit of doubt, but just this once.
Well,
Your name is Lawrence, right? That's what Carmilla called you earlier.
Yeah.
Do you have the advantage of me?
right.
Oh, my name is Purple. Purple Nightshade. The one, the only.
I know.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know? Yes, of course you know. I don't want your services, mind you. I already have too many admirers inquiring after me for a chance to scratch my chin or ruffle my ears.
All right.
Don't worry, I won't try to set you up with anyone.
Good.
Yes.
I'll only try to make you teach me magic spells and potions. Lawrence was starting to nod when he flung his head up in surprise.
How?
Let me get this straight. You, a witch, are asking me, a werewolf, to teach you how to brew potions.
Right.
Fine.
It is C. It is not my hearing that is faulty, but your intellect.
Well,
Sometimes I do wish I went to class occasionally.
But
What can a werewolf like me teach, even to a truant witch like yourself? Truant? Truant. Truant. We're gonna go with that. You're a werewolf, right? That means you're very strong.
yeah.
This is true.
and then
Have superhuman senses. And I look scary and intimidating all the time. Correct again.
right.
Then teach me spells and potions that will let me be like you.
Yes.
I bet being strong and scary with superhuman senses can help me pass my Halloween exams. I clasp my hands together and shake them up at him in a pleading fashion. Desperation seems to be an unfortunate, reoccurring theme for me lately. It is possible I can do so. It may even be possible you might be able to learn a thing or two if I do.
Yeah.
Hip hip hooray!
But
But that doesn't mean I'm going to.
Why?
now,
What can you possibly offer to make it worth my while? My undying friendship?
no.
Don't need. My eternal gratitude? Useless. My premium 24/7 matchmaking service?
No.
Good grief, no. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Then what would you like? Meat. Lots and lots of meat. He stretches his arms and holds them behind his head.
You know.
More meat means less time hauling corpses, and I, for one, would welcome the break to do something as simple as teach a few spells.
all right.
Meat in exchange for teaching me spells, huh? Okay. all the meat you can eat for as long as we both shall live. You swear?
Yes.
Pinky promise. For a moment, Lawrence stands still and silent, obviously awed by the generosity of the one and only purple nightshade.
All right.
I accept your offer.
Yeah.
Yay! I return home, tired and footsore, but very, very happy.
Damien!
I'm back!
Welcome home.
Aww. He's so sweet. My housemate hurries to greet me, looking a lot sprightlier than he did this morning.
Well...
You finished doing maintenance already?
Yes.
You were out a rather long time, and I was getting a bit worried. Did everything go well?
Yes.
Everything went fantastically. I got the job and made 2 new friends.
Congratulations.
All thanks to your idea, Damien.
Right.
Now, I will have money for potions and 4 people to help me prepare for the Halloween exams. A slight blush dawns their stitched face.
I'm glad.
Tell me, what are your plans for the rest of today? Well, that depends on what part of today it is.